I have 23 years as a registered nurse working the Salisbury, North Carolina VA. And those were 23 years, the best years of my life, serving America's veterans. And today, I want to share my concern and commitment to Americans' veterans and why I'm here today. And it's why I've joined the Union Veterans and other VA healthcare workers from this great state of Minnesota. We are proud to announce the first ever nationally coordinated Union Veterans Council, of which Ann and I are vice chairs. Why do we believe there is a need for a Union Veterans Council? It's because as veterans and as families with veterans or members of the veterans healthcare community, we believe that this country is headed in the wrong direction. We believe it's time for a real change. When veterans are struggling because they can't find a good job with good pay or affordable housing, it's time for a real change in this country. When veterans can't afford to get to their jobs because they cannot afford the price of gasoline, again, it's time for a real change in this country. When veterans can't get the health care that they deserve and have an absolute right to because they've served this country as a veteran, because the VA is underfunded and understaffed, it's time for a real change. When veterans can't get ahead because they can't afford the cost of education, it's time for a real change. Real change, not the continuation of the failed policies of the Bush administration. And I want to say that one more time. Not the failed policies of the Bush administration, the administration that has the lowest approval record of anyone since Richard Nixon, who resigned from office to avoid being impeached. So that's a very powerful statement. So what's the Union Veterans Council all about? We plan to bring Union veterans together to stand up for the issues that matter most to veterans, their families, and all working men and women for the 2008 elections and beyond. In addition to roundtables like the one that we are doing today here in Minneapolis and St. Paul and across the country, our first major action is today the launch of a television ad in targeted battleground states, including Minnesota, that features Jim Wasser, an IBEW member and Vietnam veteran, who says that while veterans respect Senator John McCain's service, on the issues important to them, he is offering the wrong agenda, and the people need to let McCain know that he's wrong. This ad is just the beginning of activities that Union veterans will undertake in the weeks ahead, and I believe we have the ad available that people can see after our roundtable and our conference here. We're also launching a website, a clearinghouse for veterans to meet, discuss, and research the candidates and the issues important to this election. That website is www.unionvets.org. In the coming weeks, veterans will go door to door and to work sites to talk to union members about health care, good paying jobs, retirement security, bad trade deals, and other economic concerns. We expect to deliver over 500,000 flyers on the candidates' records on veterans and pocketbook issues. And we're setting up a rapid response team of veterans across the country who will be out in front on behalf of all working people responding to presidential candidates all the way to City Hall and to City Council members. Our mission is to explain that while we honor John McCain's service, John McCain's record shows that he's the wrong choice for working families. On the other hand, Senator Obama's record shows that on issues after issues, from wages to housing, from veterans' health care to national health care, he is the choice for working families. Now you might be thinking, J. David, how can you say that? Well, again, I do want to repeat and say it loud and clear. I respect, and I believe all union and veterans respect Senator John McCain's service to this country. But Senator McCain has failed to advocate for the resources that veteran needs. Let me give you just a few examples. Senator McCain, has already been said, voted against full funding of veterans' health care in 2004, 5, 6, and 7. Voted 4 straight years against veterans. Senator McCain voted against making veterans' health care benefits a mandatory program. Voted against veterans. Down again. Senator McCain voted against increased funding for veterans' mental health services. How can any human being vote against mental health services for men and women who are fighting two wars in this world today? I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that to somebody I totally hated and despised, let alone to do it to an American veteran. Senator McCain has voted against giving members of the National Guard and Reserves greater access to health care. Again, we have an army of people who serve in the National Guard and Reserves. That's the type of military we have in our country, and he votes against them again. And now Senator McCain is proposing the grandest thing and the worst thing that I have ever seen anyone who proclaims to be for veterans. He wants to dismantle the VA by outsourcing care, giving veterans a voucher, a debit card, abandoning veterans to the HMO, corporate domain health care, the system that we know is failing tens of millions of Americans every day. That would be the end of VA health care, the end of what Ann and I and 200,000 other employees that have worked for the VA over and over, and other VA employees have spent their life working and caring for veterans. To do away with the VA would be a disservice that this country and no veteran should ever have to endure. And Senator McCain was the one of only 2 senators not to vote on the 21st century GI Bill. The other senator was Senator Ted Kennedy, and we all understand Senator Kennedy's health problems and why he was unable to be there to vote. The other senator was John McCain. I personally believe he didn't show up to vote because he knew he was going to vote no. The vote was 92-6, and 2 was not there. And you know, it's better to just take a walk than to say again while you're running for president, let me vote one more time against veterans. But look at his record. Over and over again, John McCain has voted no to veterans and voted against them repeatedly. But the one thing I do want to tell you today, and I am proud to be a strong supporter of Senator Obama. I am proud to be a part of people that is going to make the change in this country. Senator Obama made sure he was on the floor to support the 21st century GI Bill and voted for it so that every veteran returning from the wars would have a real chance for a college education or the education that they wanted to pursue. Senator Obama, again, is the sponsor of the Dignity for the Wounded Warriors Act to improve the quality of care at military hospitals like Walter Reed. And he supports mandatory funding for the VA to ensure that it remains one of America's most effective and respected health care systems in the world. Senator Obama introduced the Veterans Homeless Prevention Act, which was launched an innovative pilot program to pair housing for at-risk veterans and veterans' families with supportive services in an effort to prevent veterans from falling into homelessness. And think about it. No one in this country should be homeless, let alone a veteran, someone that has served this country. And Senator Obama has pledged that one of the first acts he would do as president would be to reverse the 2003 ban, supported again by Senator John McCain, on enrolling over 1 million modest income veterans in the VA healthcare system. In the weeks ahead, we will be talking to union members about the difference between Senator McCain and Senator Obama. And we will be talking to union veterans about the need to elect pro-veteran, pro-working family candidates across the board, from the White House to the Senate and the House of Representatives. Most importantly, we will be asking union veterans and all union members to consider the facts, again, not rumors. When it comes to the issues facing veterans and working families, look at the candidates' voting records, not their lip service. And remember that straight talk can be a cover-up. It's a catchy phrase, but the real proof is how a candidate voted when the chips were down and where veterans were in need.